The buzz is back at Carrington. Mbeumo and Ahmad return under Carrick's watch. Hey everyone, welcome back to United Daily Updates. If you're new here or haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We're your trusted source for everything Manchester United. Every single day, we bring you the latest news from Carrington, match analysis, tactical breakdowns, transfer updates, and honest discussions about our beloved Red Devils. We're not just another football channel. We're a community of passionate United fans who live and breathe this club. So come join us, turn on those notifications, and let's experience this journey together. Today, I've got some news that's going to put a smile on your face. Finally, after what feels like forever, there's genuine excitement coming out of Carrington again. The training ground is alive. Players are sharp. Energy levels are through the roof. And there are two big reasons why everything feels different right now. Bryan Mbeumo and Amad Diallo are back. The return that changes everything. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you've been watching your team struggle for weeks. Chances created but not finished. Good moments followed by frustrating mistakes. Players looking tired and lacking that spark. Then suddenly, your two most exciting attackers walk back through the doors at Carrington, ready to go again. That's exactly what's happened at Manchester United this week. Both Mbeumo and Amad have returned to training after representing their countries at the Africa Cup of Nations. Cameroon's Bryan Mbeumo and Ivory Coast's Amad both went deep into the tournament, reaching the quarter-finals before their dreams ended. But while that's disappointing for them personally, for Manchester United, the timing of their return couldn't be better. Why am I so excited about this? Because these aren't just regular squad players coming back from international duty. These are two of United's most important attacking weapons. These are match winners. These are the kind of players who can turn a draw into a win with one moment of brilliance. And right now, with Manchester United sitting 7th in the table and desperately chasing that top 4 spot, we need our best players available. We need quality. We need goals. We need creativity. Mbeumo and Amad bring all of that. But there's more to this story than just two players returning. There's something happening at Carrington that goes deeper than individual returns. There's a shift in atmosphere, a change in energy, a renewed sense of purpose. And a big part of that comes down to one man, Michael Carrick. What's really happening at Carrington? Let me tell you what I've been hearing from sources close to the training ground. The atmosphere at Carrington has completely transformed in the last few days. Training sessions are intense. Every drill matters. Every touch is meaningful. Players are competing with each other in a healthy way. There's focus. There's determination. There's belief starting to creep back in. This isn't the same United training ground we've seen in recent weeks where everything felt flat and uninspiring. This is different. You can feel it just from the reports filtering out. Michael Carrick is overseeing these sessions, and his influence is already visible. He's working on the fundamentals. Ball control. Quick transitions. Smart movement off the ball. Body positioning. Passing angles. The basics that make great football teams tick. And here's what I love about what Carrick is doing. He's not trying to reinvent the wheel. He's not implementing some complicated new system that takes months to learn. He's focusing on the things that won him 5 Premier League titles, a Champions League, and basically every trophy possible during his playing career. Control. Intelligence. Teamwork. Making the simple things look easy because you've practiced them 1,000 times. Watch any of those great Sir Alex Ferguson teams from the late 2000s and early 2010s. Watch how they moved the ball. Watch how they found space. Watch how they knew exactly where their teammates would be without even looking. That's what Carrick is trying to build again. For Mbeumo and Amad, walking into this environment is perfect timing. They're returning to a manager who has a clear vision. They know what's expected. They understand their roles. They can see how they fit into the system. That clarity is so important for players. When you know exactly what your manager wants from you, you can focus purely on performing. You're not second-guessing yourself. You're not confused about positioning or when to press or when to hold. Everything is clear. Breaking down what we've been missing. Let's talk numbers for a moment because they tell an important story. Bryan Mbeumo hasn't played for Manchester United since that crazy 4-4 draw against Bournemouth back in December. Remember that game? Wild match. United threw away a lead. Defense was all over the place. But Mbeumo was good that day, causing problems for Bournemouth's defense all match long. Since then, he's been gone. 6 games. 6 whole matches without United's top scorer. And guess what happened during those 6 games? United's results fell off a cliff. In the 5 matches Mbeumo missed, United won just once. Just one single victory. They drew their last 3 games in a row before this week. That's not a coincidence. When your leading scorer isn't available, you feel it. Simple as that. Mbeumo has 7 goals this season across all competitions. 7 goals in just 17 games. Now think about this for a second. He's United's top scorer despite missing the last 6 matches. Despite being away at an international tournament for weeks. Despite not playing recently at all. That tells you everything you need to know about how important he is. When he plays, United scores. When he's not there, goals are harder to come by. The same goes for Ahmad, though his impact is measured differently. Ahmad isn't necessarily your 20 goals a season winger. That's not his game. What Ahmad brings is creativity, unpredictability, that ability to do something unexpected that unlocks a stubborn defense. How many times have we seen United dominate possession this season but struggle to create clear chances? How many times have defenders just sat deep and comfortable because they knew United didn't have that spark to hurt them? With Ahmad on the pitch, defenders can't relax. They don't know what he's going to do next. Is he going to dribble past you? Is he going to slip a pass through? Is he going to cut inside and shoot? That uncertainty is valuable. And here's another important stat. Under temporary boss Darren Fletcher, United had 49 shots across their last 2 fixtures. 49 shots. That's a lot of attempts on goal. But how many actually went in? Not enough. That's the problem. Creating chances hasn't been the issue. United are getting into good positions. They're working the ball into dangerous areas. But the final ball has been poor. The finishing has been wasteful. The decision-making in the box has been questionable. Mbeumo and Ahmad fix that problem. These are players with quality in the final third. They don't panic. They don't rush. They know how to finish chances and how to create them for others. Understanding what Mbeumo brings. Let's dive deeper into what Bryan Mbeumo actually offers this Manchester United team because it's more than just goals. First and most obviously, he's a goal scorer. 7 goals in 17 games is a solid return, especially when you consider United's overall struggles this season. But it's not just about the number of goals. It's about when he scores them and how he scores them. Mbeumo is clinical. When he gets a chance, more often than not, he puts it away. He doesn't need 5 opportunities to score 1 goal. He's efficient. And in tight matches where chances are limited, having someone clinical can be the difference between 1 point and 3 points. But beyond the goals, Mbeumo brings something else that United have been desperately missing: directness. Too often this season, United's attacks have been slow and predictable. Pass, 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 sideways, backwards, pass, pass, and then the move breaks down. No urgency. No penetration. Just possession for the sake of possession. Mbeumo doesn't play like that. When he gets the ball, he attacks. He runs at defenders. He takes them on. He puts fear into the opposition. Defenders hate playing against Mbeumo because he gives them problems. Do you step up and try to stop him early? Then he might just knock it past you and use his pace to blow by. Do you drop off and give him space? Then he'll cut inside onto his stronger foot and either shoot or pick out a teammate. There's no comfortable option when defending against Mbeumo. Every scenario is dangerous. That's what makes him so valuable. I remember watching the reverse fixture against Manchester City earlier this season. United lost that game, but Mbeumo was one of the few bright spots. He was constantly threatening. He had City's defense worried every time he touched the ball. He even forced a spectacular save from Gianluigi Donnarumma that had everyone in the stadium thinking it was a goal. That's the kind of performance United needs this weekend when City comes to Old Trafford. That's the kind of threat that can win you a Manchester derby. Mbeumo is also versatile, which gives Carrick tactical options. He can play on the left wing. He can play on the right. He can even play as a striker if needed, though that's not his best position. But having that flexibility means Carrick can adjust his formation during games without necessarily making substitutions. If something isn't working, if City are getting too much joy down one side, Carrick can shift Mbeumo to the other wing and suddenly City has to adjust their whole defensive setup. That in-game flexibility is huge. And physically, Mbeumo is ready. I know some fans might worry about match fitness after being away at a tournament. But think about it. He's been playing competitive football at AFCON. High-level matches. High intensity. He's not coming back from injury where he needs to rebuild fitness. He's coming back from playing football. A few days training with the squad to get reacquainted with his teammates, to understand Carrick's tactical instructions, to get the timing of runs right again, and he'll be good to go. Understanding what Ahmad brings. Now let's talk about Amad Diallo because his contribution is different but equally important. Where Mbumo is direct and powerful, Ahmad is clever and creative. He's not going to bulldoze past defenders using pure strength. That's not his style. Instead, he uses intelligence, quick feet, and perfect timing to create space and opportunities. Ahmad has this ability to receive the ball in tight spaces and just glide past players. It looks effortless when he does it. One touch to control, one quick shift of his body, and suddenly he's past the defender and into space. It's beautiful to watch when it comes off. That skill is crucial against teams that sit deep and defend in numbers. You need someone who can operate in small pockets of space. Someone who can beat a man one-on-one even when there's not much room to work with. Ahmad can do that. But Ahmad isn't just about dribbling. His passing is underrated. He sees things other players don't see. He'll spot a run that nobody else noticed. He'll play a pass through a gap that looked impossible. That vision creates chances for his teammates. And here's something I really appreciate about Ahmad's game: his work rate. This isn't a luxury player who only cares about attacking. He tracks back. He helps the defense. He presses opposition defenders when United don't have the ball. He's a team player in the true sense. That defensive contribution matters more than people realize. If your wingers don't defend, your fullbacks get exposed. Your midfielders have to cover too much ground. The whole defensive structure breaks down. But when your wingers work hard off the ball, everything becomes easier for the players behind them. With both Mbumo and Ahmad being natural right wingers, you might wonder how Carrick uses them. Can they both play? Does one have to sit on the bench? What's the solution? Actually, this is a good problem to have. Competition for places makes everyone better. Both players will know they have to perform because there's someone quality waiting to take their spot. That raises standards across the whole squad. Carrick could play them both. Mbumo on one wing, Ahmad on the other. That gives United pace and creativity from both sides. Defenses won't know which way to shift because both wings are dangerous. Or Carrick could use them in rotation. Start one, bring the other off the bench. Fresh legs in the second half. A different threat for tired defenders to deal with. That's smart management. He could even play one of them as a number 10 in certain games. Bring them inside. Let them link play between midfield and attack. Use their creativity in central areas. The point is, having options is good. It means Carrick can adapt based on the opponent, based on how the game is going, based on who's in better form. That's what good managers do. Michael Carrick's influence on training. Let's go back to what's happening at Carrington because this is where everything starts. Matches are won on Saturday or Sunday, but the foundation is built Monday through Friday on the training ground. Michael Carrick knows this better than most. He spent 12 years learning from Sir Alex Ferguson, one of the greatest managers in football history. He worked under Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's seen how different managers operate. He's absorbed lessons from all of them. Now he's implementing his own vision, and you can see his playing style reflected in what he's coaching. Ball control is the foundation of everything. If you can't control the ball cleanly, nothing else matters. So Carrick has players working on their first touch, receiving passes under pressure, controlling the ball in tight spaces, making it look easy even when it's difficult. Quick transitions are another focus. Modern football is all about speed. Not just running fast, but thinking fast. Moving the ball fast. Exploiting spaces before defenses can get organized. That's where games are won. Carrick is drilling this into the players. When United win the ball back, they need to attack immediately. Don't let City get back into shape. Don't give them time to organize. Hit them while they're vulnerable. The same applies when United lose the ball. Transition quickly from attack to defense. Press high if possible. Get back into shape if not. Don't let City counter-attack with numbers. These transitions are where Mbumo and Ahmad can be devastating. Their pace in behind. Their ability to stretch defenses. Their intelligence in knowing when to run and when to hold. That's gold in transition moments. Smart movement off the ball is the third pillar of Carrick's training focus. Football is played off the ball as much as on it. Making runs to drag defenders out of position. Creating space for teammates. Knowing when to come short and when to go long. Carrick was a master of this as a player. He didn't need the ball at his feet to influence the game. His positioning alone made him valuable. Where he stood on the pitch determined what passes were available to his teammates. He's teaching that now. Showing Mbumo and Ahmad and everyone else how their movement creates opportunities for the team. How a well-timed run from Ahmad can pull a defender away and create space for Mbumo. How Mbeumo's direct running can drag defenders with him and open up passing lanes inside. It's all connected. It's all choreographed. It's not random. This is organized football at its best. And you can see it working already. Reports from training talk about the hunger in the players. The energy in every drill. The determination to get things right. That comes from good coaching. When players understand what they're being asked to do and why it matters, they buy in. They work hard. They take pride in doing things properly. Carrick is creating that environment. And with key players like Mbeumo and Ahmad back to implement his ideas, United is starting to look like a proper team again. The tactical setup under Carrick. So how exactly will Carrick set up his team? What formation will he use? Where do Mbeumo and Ahmad fit? Based on what we've seen in training and considering Carrick's background, I think we'll see a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 as the base formation. Both systems give United defensive stability while allowing creativity in attack. In a 4-3-3, you'd have two wingers and a central striker. Mbeumo and Ahmad would play wide, with Rasmus Højlund or whoever starts leading the line through the middle. The three midfielders behind provide cover and help control the game. This formation spreads the play. It gives width. It creates space in the channels for the wingers to exploit. And with both Mbeumo and Ahmad being threats, defenses can't just focus on stopping one side. In a 4-2-3-1, you have two defensive midfielders sitting deep, a number 10 behind the striker, and two wider players who can tuck inside or stay wide depending on the situation. This formation is more flexible. The number 10 can drop deep to help build play or push high to support the striker. The wide players can cut inside to combine with the 10 or stretch play by staying wide. Either way, what's important is the principles Carrick wants. Control the ball. Move it quickly. Create overloads in attacking areas. Defend as a unit when needed. Against Manchester City specifically, the tactical battle will be fascinating. City wants to dominate possession. They want to control the tempo. They want to pin teams back and suffocate them. United needs to be smart. Press at the right moments but don't chase the ball all game and get tired. Stay compact defensively but break quickly when opportunities arise. Be patient in possession but decisive in the final third. This is where Mbeumo and Ahmad become crucial. City's high defensive line is vulnerable to pace and direct running. If United can win the ball and release these two quickly, they can hurt City. We saw it in the reverse fixture. Mbeumo caused problems every time he got space to run into. City's defenders were worried. One good ball over the top, one moment of hesitation from City's defense, and Mbeumo is through on goal. Carrick will have studied that game. He'll know where the opportunities are. He'll prepare his team to exploit them. Why the timing matters so much. Let's talk about timing because this return is perfectly timed for multiple reasons. First, the Manchester derby is this weekend. This isn't just any game. This is Manchester United versus Manchester City, one of the biggest fixtures in world football. At Old Trafford, with both teams desperate for points. You couldn't ask for a bigger stage from Mbeumo and Ahmad to announce their return. Win this game and suddenly the whole mood around the club changes. Lose it and the pressure intensifies even more. Having your best attackers available for this match is absolutely crucial. You need your best players for the biggest games. That's just common sense. Second, United's position in the table makes every game important now. Sitting 7th, 17 points behind Arsenal at the top, the title is obviously gone. Nobody's pretending otherwise. But the top 4 is still achievable. Champions League qualification is what matters now. Finishing in those top 4 spots. Getting back into Europe's elite competition. That's the target. To do that, United needs to start stringing wins together. No more draws. No more dropped points at home. No more wasteful performances where chances are created but not finished. Mbeumo and Ahmad give United a much better chance of picking up those wins. Match winners make the difference between drawing 1-1 and winning 2-1. Between creating chances and actually scoring goals. Between almost getting 3 points and actually getting them. Third, the run of fixtures coming up is tough. City this weekend, then more difficult matches after that. This isn't a friendly schedule where United can ease their way back into form. Every game is a battle. Having a fully fit squad with all your best players available is essential during these periods. One injury, one suspension, one player out of form, and suddenly you're struggling. But when everyone's available, you have options. You can rotate. You can manage workloads. You can keep everyone fresh. Fourth, and this might be the most important point, the psychological boost of having these players back cannot be overstated. Football is as much mental as it is physical. When your team is struggling and confidence is low, having your best players return lifts everyone. It changes the atmosphere in the dressing room. It makes other players believe that success is possible. Imagine you're a United player who's been struggling recently. Results aren't good. Confidence is down. You're doubting yourself. Then Mbeumo and Ahmad walk back into training, sharp and ready to go, and suddenly you think, hey, we've got a chance here. We've got quality. We can turn this around. That belief matters. It changes how you play. It changes your body language on the pitch. It changes how you approach matches. So yes, the timing of this return is perfect. Couldn't be better really. What about the other players? Here's something that hasn't been talked about enough. What does the return of Mbeumo and Ahmad mean for the other attacking players at United? Marcus Rashford has had an up and down season. Some good performances, some poor ones. Alejandro Garnacho has shown flashes of brilliance but inconsistency too. Antony has struggled for form all season. Now Mbeumo and Ahmad are back, and they're clearly going to play. They're the top attacking options when fit. So where does that leave everyone else? This is where competition for places becomes important. Nobody should feel safe. Nobody should think their spot in the team is guaranteed just because of their reputation or their wages or how much the club paid for them. If you're not performing, you don't play. Simple as that. And that's exactly how it should be at a club like Manchester United. Carrick has already shown he's not afraid to make tough selection decisions. Remember, this is the man who benched Cristiano Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes in his previous spell as caretaker. He doesn't care about names. He cares about performance and tactics. So if Rashford isn't playing well, he sits. If Garnacho isn't delivering, he's on the bench. If Antony isn't good enough, he doesn't make the squad. No special treatment. No exceptions. That kind of environment makes everyone better. When you know you have to earn your place every single week, you train harder. You focus more. You give maximum effort in every match because you know someone else is ready to take your spot. Look at the great United teams under Sir Alex Ferguson. Players like Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes, legends of the club, still had to compete for their places. Nobody was guaranteed to start. Ferguson would drop anyone if he thought it was the right decision. That ruthlessness is part of winning. You have to make tough choices. You have to prioritize the team over individuals. You have to create an environment where standards are high and everyone is pushed to their limit. Carrick is building that environment now. And with Mbeumo and Ahmad setting the standard, other players will have to raise their game to keep up. The defensive vulnerability of Manchester City. Let's switch focus for a moment and talk about the opposition this weekend. Manchester City comes to Old Trafford with problems of their own. City's defense is weakened right now. Josko Gvardiol is out. Ruben Dias is injured. John Stones isn't available. These are three of City's main defensive players all missing at the same time. That means City will have to field a makeshift defense. Younger players will have to step up. Players who aren't used to playing together will have to suddenly form partnerships. For United's attackers, this is a dream scenario. You're facing a City defense that's vulnerable, less experienced, less organized than usual. This is an opportunity to exploit. Young Nico O'Reilly, City's left back for this match, will have to deal with Bryan Mbeumo coming at him. That's a nightmare matchup for any young defender, let alone one playing for City in a Manchester derby at Old Trafford with thousands of screaming fans. Mbeumo's pace, power, and directness will test O'Reilly to the limit. One mistake, one moment of hesitation, one poor touch, and Mbeumo is past him and creating danger. The same applies across City's entire defense. Without their first-choice players, there will be gaps. There will be moments of uncertainty. There will be mistakes. United's job is to find those moments and punish them. Don't give City time to settle. Don't let them get comfortable. Attack them early. Put pressure on their weakened defense. Force errors. This is where having quality attackers like Mbeumo and Ahmad becomes crucial. They have the skill to exploit mistakes. They have the intelligence to spot weaknesses. They have the composure to finish chances when they come. City knows this. Pep Guardiola knows his defense is vulnerable. He'll be worried about United's pace on the counter-attack. He'll be concerned about his young defenders handling the pressure. That fear is something United can use. Play with confidence. Attack with intent. Show no mercy. This is the Manchester derby. There's no room for sympathy. The importance of the home crowd. I want to talk about something that sometimes gets overlooked in tactical analysis and player discussions. The fans. The crowd. The atmosphere at Old Trafford. The Manchester derby is always special. The noise, the passion, the intensity. It's unlike any other match. And this weekend, with United needing a result, with the team in a difficult position, the fans have a huge role to play. Players feed off the crowd. When the stadium is rocking, when every tackle gets a roar, when every attack is cheered, players feel lifted. They find energy they didn't know they had. They push harder. They believe more. But the opposite is also true. When the crowd is quiet or negative, players feel it. Confidence drops. Mistakes happen. The weight of expectation becomes heavier. So what kind of atmosphere will we see on Saturday? I hope it's positive. I hope the fans get behind the team from the first whistle. I hope they create an intimidating environment for City. When Mbeumo gets the ball and runs at City's defense, the crowd needs to be on their feet. Make noise. Make it feel like Old Trafford is shaking. Make City's young defenders nervous. When United is defending and City has possession, the crowd needs to be loud. Make it hard for City players to communicate. Make them feel the pressure. Make every pass difficult. And when United scores, which I believe they will, the celebration needs to lift the roof off. Let the players feel the love. Let them know the fans believe in them. Let them know Old Trafford is behind them. Home advantage is real. It's not just a saying. Teams genuinely perform better at home when the crowd is supporting them. The stats prove it across every league in football. United needs that advantage on Saturday. The players need to feel they're not alone out there. 11 players on the pitch plus 60,000 fans behind them. That's a powerful force. What success looks like. So what would success look like on Saturday and in the weeks ahead? Let's set some realistic expectations. Obviously, beating City would be huge. 3 points in the derby. Closing the gap on the top 4. Boosting confidence. Making a statement. That would be perfect. But even if United doesn't win, there are other markers of success. How does the team play? Do they show fight and determination? Do they create chances? Do they look organized and well coached? A good performance matters even if the result isn't perfect. It shows progress. It shows the team is moving in the right direction. It builds momentum for future matches. For Mbeumo specifically, success means getting involved in the game. Threatening City's defense. Making runs. Taking shots. Even if he doesn't score, if he's causing problems, that's valuable. For Ahmad, success might mean one moment of creativity that unlocks the defense. One clever pass. One dribble that leads to a chance. He doesn't need to dominate the whole game. He just needs to provide that spark. For Carrick, success is about the team performance. Are they following his instructions? Are they implementing his game plan? Are they showing the qualities he's been working on in training? And looking beyond just this one match, success over the next few weeks means consistency. Not just one good performance followed by 2 bad ones. A run of solid results. Building momentum. Climbing the table. That's what Champions League qualification requires. Consistency. Quality. Mental strength. The ability to grind out wins even when you're not playing particularly well. United has the players to do this now. With Mbeumo and Ahmad back, with Carrick organising the team properly, with standards rising at Carrington, there's no reason this team can't go on a run. But it starts on Saturday. Beat City, and everything looks different. The belief returns. The doubters are silenced. The top 4 suddenly looks achievable again. The road ahead. Let's zoom out one more time and look at the bigger picture. What does the rest of the season look like for Manchester United? There are roughly 4 months left. About 15 or 16 league matches still to play. Plenty of points still available. The top 4 is absolutely still possible if United can find consistency. But here's the challenge. United can't afford many more slip-ups. Every match matters now. Draw when you should win and you're handing points to your rivals. Lose when you should compete and you're falling further behind. The margin for error is tiny. One bad week and you can drop out of the race. One good week and you're right back in it. It's that tight. This is why having a fully fit squad is so important. You need everyone available. You need to be able to rotate without losing quality. You need options when players are tired or out of form. Mbeumo and Ahmad being back gives United those options. Carrick can manage minutes better. He can keep players fresh. He can make tactical changes without weakening the team. The next month will be crucial. Win most of your games in the next month and United will be right in the mix for top 4. Drop too many points and it becomes almost impossible. So this isn't just about one Manchester derby. It's about launching a sustained push for Champions League football. It's about showing that United belongs among the elite again. Can they do it? With the players available and the coaching improved under Carrick, I believe they can. But belief alone isn't enough. They have to go out and prove it on the pitch. My personal take. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that everything is suddenly perfect at Manchester United. It's not. There are still problems. The squad has weaknesses. The season hasn't gone according to plan. But I am genuinely excited about what's happening right now at Carrington. The energy is different. The focus is better. The training looks sharp and purposeful. Having Bumo and Ahmad back is massive. These are quality players. Match winners. The kind of players who can change games with one moment of brilliance. And having Carrick in charge, even temporarily, feels right. He understands the club. He knows what's required. He's not afraid to make tough decisions. He's setting standards and demanding everyone meets them.